This is ContactTalkRadio.com. Consciousness in action. And you are taking action into your consciousness by tuning into Contact Talk Radio.
And on TuneIn.com, Hing.fm, and UpSnap Mobile.
Contact Talk Radio.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
It's nice to see you. I had a little trouble getting on air, so I'm on Skype today. It's May 21st, 2013. The topic today, why hasn't my life changed? Why sometimes you may think a reading hasn't helped you. Well, you may be right, but you may be wrong. I answer a client's questions today about readings, good energy, and outcomes. Before we get into that, I'm going to give you a phone number because you can call me on air live when I have the live show, and I'll look into you and your problems, people in your life, dead or alive, see what I can help you with. Here's the number. Are you ready? It's for all countries. 1-877-230-3062. And what do? Well, I do personal phone readings, over the phone or Skype, where we can go more in depth than we do on the radio and where you have privacy, Not like on the radio where everybody in the world is listening, or sometimes it seems like that. I've been doing this work for maybe, 40 years? I was trying to figure it out. 40 years maybe. And what do? Well, I can tell you what people in your life are thinking. So you don't have to wonder and worry. And I hear voices. Yes, I do. I hear voices. I see pictures. I get a sense about you and your issues. I'm a medium, so I can connect the living and the so-called dead. And I like to use good energy to help change things for the better when that's possible. For more information about how to contact me, you need to go to my website, which is GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. And a little testimonial before we get started, and I tell you how bad I can be. Or something like that. I was working with this lady, and she and her husband and new baby had this beautiful little place in this town they just loved. And they were renting it, and the landlord had told them they had to be out, and he was going to come down and remodel and sell it. And they begged and said, oh, can't we stay another year? And he says, no, this is what I'm going to do. So she called me. We had a nice chat. I went into the landlord's head, and I just asked him to, reconsider. And I gave him reasons why he might want to reconsider, et cetera, a whole bunch of stuff. I just had a nice little chat with him. And she wrote me back and said, I spoke with you on Monday over the phone, and you looked into our landlord, my ex, and my cat who had just died. I just wanted to let you know our good news. We just found out that we get to stay here at our cute little house for one more year. I'm so relieved and so thankful for your help. You rock. And then she goes on to say, I will ease up on the compliments, but it's hard. Thank you so much. She sent me other emails, and she's just over the moon about me. And they were so great, I felt like I was rolling in chocolate, Sometimes you're all so nice to me out there. But let's get to the topic, which isn't full of flowers and hearts here. Why hasn't my life changed? Why sometimes you may think a reading hasn't helped you. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I'm going to read you a client's email to me and my answer to her, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. This is a lady I've worked with a number of times on personal phone calls, and I really love her. She's a dear lady, but she's got a real hard life, especially with her family. I mean, they're a tough bunch. And she wrote me a note and said, thank you for my reading. Not much has changed with the people you went into. The 2 classes I took with you in summer have not done much either. Could I be blocked or something? When you go into my head, I don't really feel you much ever. What's wrong with me? I have purchased most of your mojos and listen all the time. It's not working for me. What am I doing wrong? And I said, hi, blank, blank. Please don't blame yourself. The people in your life that I have met in my head are very difficult people. I know from the work I do that they hear the thoughts I put in their heads, but it is always free will, their choice to respond or not. Not everyone feels me when I go into their heads. You mentioned that you didn't, but it still works. I'm still there. A lot of people do feel me. Some don't. That's okay. And I explained to her that when my mom used to do energy work on me, a different kind, like Touch for Health and moving energies around, she would always say, do you feel it? Do you feel it? You know what? I could never feel it. But I don't feel things that way. That's not my way. And I went on to say, as for the love class, I am still waiting on my fellow too. I always think things like, maybe he's still married or getting a divorce or has other issues that make him not right for me yet. Or, crude as it sounds, maybe he won't be available until his current wife passes. Or maybe it's just not part of my journey. We do the best we can to hustle things along, but we don't have the secrets to the universe and how things are set up for our lives. And the classes work for a lot of people because I get all those stories, but I'm sure they don't work for everybody. Depends on where you are in your life and your journey. There's a lot of things that are going on that we don't know about. Life is a mystery, you know. And then I went on to say, just to remind you, you did email me a while back and you said, my ex-husband R badgered me for 12 years after our divorce. And after you went into his head and told him to leave me alone, he has left me totally alone and I have lost 35 pounds. So I said to her, so some things are working, but as people, we forget stuff like this that has happened. As for the mojos, if you feel inclined, just keep listening. You never know when they'll pop into gear. I get tons of testimonials about how well they work. And of course, the mojos is the good energy I send out for people to help things move in your life and in the universe. I've got a free one on my website you can download as an MP3 and listen to it and make a judgment for yourself about them. Again, I say to her, there is nothing wrong with you. You aren't blocking. You're just living your life with difficult people, and your life is set up on a certain path or journey, and your job is to learn to roll with whatever it is. That's how I see my life, too. Some things for me are just extra hard, and some are easier, always have been. And sometimes, people like me can get in and help ease it, change things, but only when appropriate or allowed, maybe. And I bet a lot of you see your life this way too, out there in radio land, It ain't easy. Sometimes it is, and we forget how hard it is. And when it's hard, we forget how easy it can be. And this email from this lady reminds me of a lady I used to read for. She consulted with me all the time on the phone about her life and the people in it, and I was pretty much always right and helped change a lot of things for over maybe 4 or 5 years. Then one time a man I read for her about a business issue did not later act or react as I saw him doing. That's the last I've heard from this lady. The thing is, people are unpredictable, and again, they have free will. Also, things just happen that can change the path that somebody's walking on. I can't possibly always be right, but I am pretty much always right on. Not always, of course. That'd be scary. And even what I can do is kind of scary to me sometimes. And I'm just thinking about things. I was thinking about horoscopes and astrologers and how every astrologer, is different and gives different interpretations. And I often find something happens along the lines of the planets, the transits of the planets. They happen, but it's never what you expect or what the astrologer tells you for the most part. And also, if I read many astrologers' predictions, online or in the newspaper or in person with readings, they're mostly really wrong. And this happens with psychics, too. And I don't think of myself as a psychic, although I am one, because I prefer to help you see what's happening with people and situations in your life. That's of more interest to me, although things that are coming up do often come through. It's just not my main focus. I like to give you clarity. I've often been called a clarifying counselor. Don't you feel better when you really know why your lover suddenly dropped you? Or why your boss is being cold to you? Or don't you want to know if the woman at work is undercutting you? Doesn't it help to know the real story behind things that are happening to you because of the people in your life? So why suffer for nothing when you can find out what's really going on or was going on? I'm good at that. I also have an ability to help change things for the better, not always, of course. And sometimes your dead friends and relatives, when we're doing a reading, will pop in and tell you what they want to hear, or we can ring them up. I do a lot of that. Hello, I go looking for Aunt Sue or whatever. And all kinds of things happen when I have sessions with people. It's often a fun surprise to me, too. Actually, it's usually a surprise. I mean, I never go in with the idea that I know what your problem is or what's going to happen. That's why I ask you when you email me about having a session. I say, don't tell me just in the briefest of terms if you have to. Don't tell me because I don't want to use logic. I want to go in cold and just get what I get. So what if we had a session with somebody like me and I was able to tell you totally everything that was happening and would ever happen, and we'd fix it all the way we wanted it to be? First of all, that'd be pretty darn surprising. And wouldn't it be kind of boring, don't you think? We need surprises in life. You know, all surprises aren't bad. Sometimes really excitingly good things happen that we just can't hardly believe are good luck. So it happens both ways. So in the main, I get a ton of testimonials from my work. But of course, I don't hear back from everyone, so we don't know what's going on there. But I basically read for thousands and thousands of people. I really don't know how many. And this is how I make my living, so I must be doing a rather good job. But just remember, life is not predictable. We do our best with the knowledge and the sketchy roadmap we have. But in this topic, I want to read you an email that I got just this morning. This was a lady I really like. She lives up in Canada, and she has bunnies, house bunnies that run around the house. I always have a lot of fun with her. She's a sweetheart. And I've talked with her the last couple of times, I think, about these people. She lives in a house that there's 3 different sets of tenants. And some group in there is smoking. It's a non-smoking house. And nobody will admit to it. So I've been looking into that, working on it, and so far nothing had happened. But she wrote me this morning, "You should have been the first person I notified. Ha, 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 ha. But I wanted to let you know that my neighbors on the main floor are finally moving. These are the neighbors you talked with who wouldn't stop smoking. You finally suggested to them to move on before they were forced to move out. The landlord told me to address my issue of them smoking directly with them. They told me it must be the beeswax or the soy candles they were burning that weekend. I just kept my mouth shut, but I was wondering where one buys candles that smell like cigarette smoke. Ha! I have been patient waiting for this day to come. Then I overheard them telling the tenants in the basement suite last Thursday they take possession of their new house on July 31st. Yahoo! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Venus. I know it was your persuasion that had them realize they had better get moving. I also realize I won't miss their loud music playing and their general presence. I hope you are doing well. Cheers, Karen." Well, it took a while. You know, it doesn't always happen tomorrow when I work on people. That took a while, so I'm surprised, but I guess it finally made an impression. All right, before we go to the break, I want to read you something interesting I found this morning. You know, I like to find interesting stuff to read. Listen to this, and then let's see what you think about it. Just really think about this. This week in 1987, this is medical history. This week in 1987, a patent for, in quotes, keeping a head alive was issued to Chet Fleming in the United States. Fleming's device involved placing a, what they called, in quotes, discorporated head in a cabinet with various tubes supplying oxygenated blood and nutrients entering through the neck, while other neck tubes removed depleted blood and waste products. Fleming suggested the device, never actually tested, might be used for patients with terminal illnesses. You know, I sat and thought about this morning, and I thought, all right, so let's say the doctors come to you and say you're going to die of a terminal illness, but hey, we got a deal for you. What do you say we cut your head off, and we just keep your head, and the rest of the body, the rest of you we dispose of, and we'll just keep you alive. What do you think of that idea? You want to try that? We could do that, we think. Well, first of all, what would you do with your body? Would you cremate it? Would you bury it? Would you have a headstone that you put up that said the rest to come later? Would you have a service, a church service for the body? Where would you keep your head? What kind of life would you lead? I mean, you couldn't go out and party with everybody. They'd have to carry you around in maybe a little glass box or maybe maybe a wooden box with a little velvet on the sides, and they could put you on a table or a ledge and you could watch everything. You couldn't work your computer. You couldn't get on the telephone. You couldn't do any of the fun things in life. There you'd be, just a head sitting on a counter. Would you opt to do that? I don't know why it struck me as so odd, but I had all these questions. What do you think? Hey, let me know. Would you want to be just a head? Or would you want to take the whole kit and caboodle and just get out of here? All right. Something to think about. I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to take your calls, and we'll see what you're up to out there and see if you're doing some odd things, and we'll go find out. And, I'll throw out some good energy. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Love and benefit from the good energy mojos that Venus has on her website? Do you sometimes feel it when she tosses mojos to you on her radio show? If so, you will extra like her paintings and wall switches, because as Venus paints, she fills her work with powerful, good energy mojos. Venus says, when you have these on your walls, your home or workplace is always filled with good mojo to help things in your life go better for you. When you purchase this very popular art from Venus, she also puts a personal mojo in the piece just for you. You can see and purchase all this great energy art on artmojos.com. That's artmojos.com. Intentionally bring more power of the universe into your life. Many people say that Venus's paintings are always working for them. Let them work for you too.
Some people tell me they listen to my archive radio shows at night because I put them to sleep. When I complain, they say, "Oh, it's the sound of your voice, Venus. I love it because it relaxes me." Well, okay, that's good then. You can find all my archive shows on iTunes, Pinterest, and YouTube. To find my live and other archive shows, please go to my website, godisalwayshappy.com, and look under radio on my site. That's godisalwayshappy.com. And sleep tight. Don't let those bed bugs bite.
Want to win a phone reading with Venus? Venus announces a new winner's name every Tuesday on her Dear Venus show. It's easy to get in the possible winner's pot. Go to her website and look for the blue headphones. Click on them, and you'll get a free MP3 mojo from Venus called No Matter What Happens, Everything is Always Okay. People say Venus's mojos bring many good results into their lives. Clicking on the blue headphones puts you on Venus's latest mailing list, where she draws the names for free readings. If you have never clicked on the blue headphones, you're not on the current list. Venus's website is godisalwayshappy.com. That's godisalwayshappy.com. And while you're there, look for more MP3 mojos that you can purchase for a nominal price. You'll be surprised at the happy results they may bring into your life.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
We're back. Hello. All right. I just want to mention my next show. I have a show every Tuesday, of course. My next show, May 28, 2013, I'm going to talk about afterlife portraits. The portraits I'm painting of dead people and dead pets. And I've talked about this before. I paint their essence, bring their feelings through, bring their personalities through, etc. You can find out more about it on artmojos.com. Just look for it. That's my art site, artmojos.com. Well, next week I'm going to have a lady on the show with me who got 2 paintings from me, one of her grandmother and one of her father, and she's going to tell you her reaction, what she thinks, etc. So you can hear more about it from somebody besides me. It should be very interesting, and then we'll do whatever we do. All right, a blog. Of course, I put a blog out every week. It comes out on Thursdays if you're subscribed to it. It's called My True Life. The next one comes out May 23rd, 2013. And you never know what's going to be there, but hopefully it will give you a giggle go on for the day. I'm thinking about what I'm writing. I'm running late this week, but I'll have one up. It'll be there. So you can find it posted on GodIsAlwaysHappy.com/blog, and you can go to any article there and sign up to get it subscribed to you. I'm finding all kinds of people are reading this. A lot of people in my town, my gosh, people I don't even know. I'm going to have to be more careful what I say. Yeah, I try to be tactful and careful, but I'm not always, am I? All right, let's do this. Let's go to the radio board. Let's go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. How about Marie in Vancouver, California? Or Vancouver. Marie, do I know you?
You do. It's Marie Bernard. Hi.
I knew it was you. Hello.
Hi. You've got to come back on my show soon.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just had a feeling when I saw you there, it sort of hit me. So go ahead. What do you want me to look into?
Well, a boyfriend that I was with it was a couple of month relationship, but he was really in love with me. He just kind of dumped me out of the blue a year ago.
I'm crying tears. Oh my gosh. I hope you've been drinking a lot. Go ahead.
And I'm still, I don't know if he was really the right guy for me or not, but I'm not quite over it, and I kind of get mixed. He doesn't want to speak with me or see me, but every once in a while, if I send him an email asking for advice, he'll be very thoughtful and respond back. And then if I thank him, he just won't. I'm just getting mixed messages, and I really don't know if there's even a point in wishing things could be different. So
yeah, okay. All right. Well, my cat just came over to sit with me, so you may hear her saying a few things. She's a talker. And okay, Marie. So let me ask you a few questions. About how old? What kind of work? You want to tell me that stuff, or make something up?
You've got his name. 41. He works in education with kids.
Okay. And now what I want to know is, you've been broken up for about a year. What did he say? Did he say anything before he split up with you, or did he just disappear?
I think he said that he had been thinking about it for a while and just never brought it up to me. What happened is, I think that he sort of started making these ideas, rather than bringing up his concerns, he just made his own conclusions and let them fester, and then was like, oh, this isn't going to work for me. Okay, darling. All right. What color is his hair? Light brown. All right. So I'm going to go into Marie, and Marie, you may feel me or you may not, but I'm still there. You know how I work. But I say this for everybody out there who hasn't heard me before. I'm coming into your head. Marie, there you are. Okay. Now I'm going to go find this fellow whose name we won't say. I don't know if you heard my last week's show. This woman called in. She wouldn't give me any information about who, what, where, how, and I had to go find somebody. Actually, in the end, I found them, and I found stuff out. I was very surprised. So I'm starting to think I can do about anything now. Please God. Okay. All right. Let me go find him. All right. How far away from you does he live, would you say, give or take? 20-30 minute drive.
Okay. And when was the last time you saw him, or when you broke up? What month? The last time I saw him would have been March of last year, I think, or maybe April. Of last year, so it's been over a year then? Yeah. Okay, let me go back there. Sometimes I have to time travel back and forward and in the middle. So I'm going back there now. All right, I'm talking to him. Can I talk to you, please? I'm a friend of Marie's. Can I please come into your head? Can I chat? I'm just walking around him right now. So what happened? Why did you end this? What was the deal? I know what you told her. You said that you've been thinking about it for a long time. What was the real deal? I keep seeing the strangest thing, fried eggs. I don't know, something about breakfast or cooking. Did you guys have a lot of meals together? Did he like your cooking, or was he a cook? Does that mean anything? If it doesn't, I'll just put it aside. We really loved cooking together. Okay, maybe that's it. See, I'm trying to teach myself to say everything I see, no matter how bizarre. So, okay, I'll put that aside. So we got that. So sometimes we have to ease into things here. The guys don't want to really talk about what's bothering them, so I have to sort of, do this. Okay, so let's go back. He feels guilty about it. He feels bad. he really thinks you're a nice person, a lovely person, but we don't want to hear that, do we?
Yeah.
We don't care that they think that if they broke up with us. But, and when he answers you, when you email him, he's just trying to be the good guy and soothe his own conscience, you might say. I'm hearing somebody say he didn't have a really good reason for breaking up with you. Somebody else just told me that. That did not come from him, so I'm going to go listen to that. Okay, so what this other person, whoever's speaking, why did he break up? What happened there? He's just kind of willy-nilly, wishy-washy. He's just, in some ways, he's kind of bland, where I don't feel like he allows himself, or maybe he can't have really strong feelings, or if he does, he would step on them. Does this make any sense? Does this sound like him?
That sounds pretty bang on, yeah. I think my passion he admired it, and it made him feel less.
He's flat. He's flatlined. And I think he's emotionally flatlined, but I think he may be sexually flatlined, if you really want to know. I don't think he's always up to the job. Did you ever have that concern?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm glad I didn't give you his name, Venus.
Yeah, I'm glad too. Well. Okay, and so what I'm getting here, poor fellow, what I'm getting here is he just felt he wasn't up to the job, and by that he means sexually, emotionally, that he couldn't carry this on. He couldn't take it anywhere. He couldn't hold up the facade. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle you. So when he says he'd been thinking about it for a long time, what he meant was he was thinking about himself. Can I be what she thinks I am, or what she wants me to be, or how long can I keep this up? Because it ain't happening for me. It has nothing to do with you. I think he has this with every woman. Do you know the background? Was he ever married, or was it very long or short, or has he had relationships or not, or did they fall apart? Do you know anything?
Yeah, I know a bit.
And does that fall in line with this?
His last relationship was 10 years, and she was even more bland than he is.
Okay, so that's probably why it worked. Okay, so Marie, I hope this sets your mind at ease and your heart, because it's nothing you did. You are a little pile of smoke there, you are, girl. A little firecracker and smoke. And you were just too much for him. And he just felt like, over time, he felt like you were pushing him, prodding him. Maybe you weren't with your mouth or anything, verbally, but he just started feeling like, I can't keep up. And he backed out because of how he is. If you had stayed with him, you would have had to have a bland relationship, because that's the only way it would have worked. So if you want to have a nice bland friendship, fine, go ahead with it. But pull your heart back out, because you can't give it to any lady. Not in the way they want, unless they're just like him, and there's people like him, so he may find it. But your heart breaking over this, it's just a waste of your time. Okay? Do you feel any better or worse?
Well, it's really accurate, and I think you're right. I felt safe with him, and I've never felt safe with anyone. So I don't know how to get over that.
Well, you probably felt safe with him because he was bland. There's no danger or violence with him. Yeah, you don't have to worry about, all you had to worry about was getting your heart broken. How safe were you, really? Because he did break your heart, just like an eggshell. Oh, there's another egg. I just saw this egg cracked open, and it plopped out into a frying pan. So I guess two meanings there. You did get your heart broken in the end, because he was a safe guy to be with. I don't know. What I would do is I think I'd go out maybe and look for more of a hellraiser, somebody who's a lot more fun and interesting. And if you're going to get your heart broken, you might as well have a better time doing it.
Thanks, Venus.
You'll be fine. You can find what you're looking for, a guy who's got all of that. But, honestly, a lot of times if you get a guy who's more mild-mannered and he's not so exciting, they are safe, but they cause you other problems, like what you just ran into. So you got to keep your feet. You got to keep balance. One side and that side, one side and the other side, and try and find somebody in the middle. or something like that.
Thank you, Venus.
Okay, let me just look at you a second. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me send you a little love mojo. How's that?
Oh, I'd love that. Thank you.
I'm going to send it to everybody out there. How about some love? It doesn't have to be this kind of love. It can be any kind of love. Love from animals, love from your friends, your family, people who are dead, people who are alive, romance, whatever. Woo! Bam! Woo! Bam! Bam! Woo! Bam! Love! Love! Mojo! Woo! Woo! Oh, Marie, you just got so attractive and sultry. Watch out, girl.
Thanks, Venus.
All right, darling. Thanks for the call.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. See, a lot of times we're all suffering for nothing. We think it's our fault. We came up short. We didn't reach expectations or whatever it might be. And, so often when I look for people and I read other people for them, it's not us at all. We've just fallen into these other people's habits or personalities or the way they are. And then we suffer for it, Interesting, huh? All right. Let's just take a quick break, get it over with, and I'll get back and take more of your calls. Venus Andrecht with the Dear Venus Show.
Attention business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking for help with your online marketing? Or do you need a beautifully designed custom website that you can edit yourself at an affordable price? Contact Heather at StudioThirdEye.com. She will make it happen for you online, from website design, branding, social media, to getting found on the internet. You can reach Heather at StudioThirdEye.com. Heather's professional and fair and has many happy clients from small and mid-sized businesses. Find her at StudioThirdEye.com. That's Studio, ThirdEye.com. Or you can email intuitiveinternet@gmail.com and tell her what you need to accomplish. Heather will make it easy for you.
Hi, I'm Venus's daughter, Summer McStravick. And as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's why I think you might enjoy my podcast, Flow Dreaming. It airs live on Tuesday, right before Venus's show. Or you can find it on iTunes or at my website, flowdreaming.com. I work with energy and I look in people's lives just like Venus, except I call what I do flow dreaming, and I teach other people to manifest and create in their lives using this flow energy too. So I hope you'll check out my podcast, Flow Dreaming, on iTunes, CTR, or at flowdreaming.com.
Venus thinks the world needs cheering up. Let me tell you, her blog certainly does that. Every week it's a true story about her life and the people in it. Here are a few comments. Oh, thank you. I am laughing so hard. Every Wednesday it's great to start my day like this. And love, love, love to read your blogs. You always make my day. I have emailed your blogs onto many people this year. And your blogs are profound, prophetic, and wise. They make me laugh and cry and everything in between. And, okay, Venus, I almost spewed coffee out of my nose reading this one. Too funny. By the way, her family subscribes to her blog for their own protection. You can subscribe too. Just look for the orange-colored feed at the top of the blog. You can find the latest and often harrowing adventures in Venus's life at godisalwayshappy.com/blog. That's godisalwayshappy.com/blog.
You're listening to Dear Venus with your host, Venus Andrecht.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I always love to see you every week. I just feel like it's a great big tea or wine party. We all get together and laugh and cut up. Wouldn't that be fun if we could really do that in person? I would love to do that one day and meet all of you. Whoopee! Would that be fun? All right, let's get back to business here. Every show I choose a winner for a free 10-minute reading with me on the phone. And to get in the winner's pot, you've got to be on my current mailing list. To be on the current mailing list, because I have two, one's old, one's new. To get in the current one, you've got to go to my website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com, look for the blue headphones, click around there. You'll get that free MP3 mojo called No Matter What Happens, Everything is Always Okay. You can play it as many times as you want. It's a really good one. And, of course, I have a lot of others for sale on my site for really nominal prices, but I get lots of testimonials about those things. But anyway, so once you're in the possible winner's pot, that's where I draw my names. I draw names there for a winner every week on the show. And also, I put out my Juicy News newsletter twice a month, every other week. And if you're in the current mailing list, I draw a name from that for a free 10-minute reading with me. You can find it in the Juicy News. I like to hide it somewhere. It's kind of fun. You find your name, you won. You get a free reading with me. So that is at least 6 or 7 times in a month you have an opportunity to win a reading with me, a free one. And that's quite a few times. All right. Let me just tell you the winner's name here. The winner of the show today is Nia Rose, N-I-A. Next name, Rose, R-O-S-E. And Nia, this is valid through 5/27/2013. After that, it's null and void. And the Juicy News just came out today. The latest Juicy News. We'll have another one week after next. And like I said, there's a name in there, a hidden name. Somebody gets a reading with me for free. It's like an Easter egg hunt. And let's see, 2 more things. You can find me on Google Plus under Venus Andrecht, all lowercase. Also on Facebook fan page. That's enough of that. Let's get back to the board here. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let's do this. This is weird. There's another Maria. We just talked to Marie in Canada. There's a Maria in Toronto. Let's go with that because maybe that's a synchronicity. Maybe that's what's happening today. Maria, are you there?
Yes. Hi, Venus. Thank you very much for taking my call.
You're welcome. So what are we going to look at today?
I was seeing this guy for about 2 weeks, and everything was going great. And I thought we liked each other, and we really got along well, liked each other's company. We're spending so much time together. And then suddenly he just dropped me, never called, although we made plans. And I just wanted to know what happened because I want to move on, and I want to leave it behind me. So.
I should write a song about this because I hear this so often. Men are always dropping women. Bam! I mean, it can be perfect, and they're in love with you. They're making all these plans, and yada yada, and then you never hear from them again. So let me find out a few things. Maria, how old are you? What kind of work do you do? And the same for this fellow.
I work for people who have mental disabilities, and I'm 28.
Okay.
And he's like in business and kind of management of this company.
Okay.
And he's 31.
Did you give me his name?
Gil.
Who? Yeah. Gil?
Gil. Mm-hmm.
G-I-L?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So you've only been dating for 2 weeks. Is that only how long you knew him? Where did you meet him?
Yeah, I met him online.
I figured you did. Online. This happens all the time. I figure I know what happened already because I got a hit when we first started talking, but I'm going to go check it out, okay?
Okay.
So, Maria, all right, I'm going to go look for Gil. Where does he live, or is he?
He lives like 30 minutes driving from me as well.
Okay, that's good. At least he's not in China or someplace. Or India. I get those too. All right. Okay, so Maria, I'm going to come into your head really fast. Woo! There we go. Just whip through you. Picked you up. All right. Gil. Okay. Is he kind of good looking, or he thinks he is? And
he's cute. He's cute.
And I have it's like I see him with a mustache, and I don't know that he has one, but he fancied
he was maybe thinking of getting one, but it doesn't suit him. So
he was fancying of getting one. Okay, so I got the right guy. Okay, that was easy. All right, Gil, you have no secrets. Here I come. May I talk to you, Gil? Now, you notice I always ask permission. I don't cross the line. We don't do voodoo here. It's only white. White energy, white helpfulness. That's all we do. Okay, Gil? I'm talking to Maria, and you were seeing her, and everything was honky-honky. Maria, did you do the deed with him?
Yes.
Yes. I figured. Okay. All right. So, Gil, she says you dropped her like a silver fish that slipped away. Why did you do that? Well, he's laughing. He says, well, there are many fish in the sea.
Oh, okay.
So what's happened with him is he's just found more women online. It's like he's got the whole ocean there to fish in. That's part of it, and I think there's some more, so I'm going to keep looking. That's the simple answer. He did it because he could, and also, he got what he wanted, and it was really hot, and then where are you going to take it from there? I'm always having to teach younger women the ropes, and a lot of them don't believe me, but I'm a whole lot older, and I've been through this and done all these things, but it's true. Men are hunters, women are gatherers. Once a man has shot the arrow and bagged you, once you've done the deed or whatever, once he's won you, he's on. Why does he want to stand there and hold a dead animal in his hands or what he's already done? He's on to find new catch. It sounds so crude, but that's how it is because they like the thrill of the chase and the hunt. So I would say next time and forever after, you make yourself mysterious and you just take your good, sweet time and make sure that things are better than they are and give it a lot more time. 2 weeks is nothing. I don't mean to harass you, but I am harassing you because, I remember the dumb things I used to do and I had to learn. I don't want you to have to keep going through that. So he did it because he could and because he has a lot more to choose from. And let me see if there's any other reason that Gil did this. Any other reason? Any other reason? How do you feel about her? Oh, he liked you well enough. He had a good time. He thought he was in love or he thought he was in this or that. He thought he got all excited, but then he got his attention turned. Like, here's a pretty woman and there's some more and they want to meet me and he met some more. And it's like that. He got his head turned. He's young. Did you say he's 31?
Yeah.
That's young in my mind. He's young. You can be old at 31 or young. He's young. And he'd like to fancy he's a playboy or he'd like to be. I think that's where this mustache idea comes in. He just wants to see how well he can do in the pool. I'm sorry.
True. Okay. Fair enough.
But, it was only 2 weeks. Just take it as a lesson. I don't feel he meant to hurt you. I don't think he planned to do it. I think he just got carried away with himself and all his options, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Don't cry over this, man.
Okay.
Just be more careful and make him work for you. Make them work for you, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, darling.
Thanks.
Oh, boy. I wish somebody had taught me stuff when I was her age. I had to find it out on my own, and it took me years and years and years and years and years. And there are still a lot of women I work with in their 40s, 50s, 60s, even older, and they still haven't caught on. They still don't know what to do. So listen up, everybody. I used to be the queen of romance. I had so many boyfriends. It wore me out. That's why I don't do much of it anymore. All right, let's see. We've got time here. Let's go talk to somebody else. All right, let's go with Lisa, Rockford, Illinois. Lisa, what's going on?
Hi, yes, I have a relationship issue here.
I love them. Go ahead. What is it?
I know another one today. Well, the person I've been with was with a month, but it's been really great. And they say they're in love with me, but the only problem is they're kind of like an alcoholic, but then they're trying to work on things themselves. So they said they need a break from me.
Wait! You're talking about all men, or one you're involved with now?
I'm the girl I'm involved with now. Yes.
Okay, but you said they. Now let's talk about.
I met her. Sorry.
Okay. Well, I just thought. Well, how many are we dealing with here?
Yeah, I know, right?
You don't want to confuse me, darling.
No, not at all.
Let me get this straight. I got to get my head straightened out now. Lisa, how old are you? What kind of work do you do?
I'm 41, and I work for myself.
Okay, so your girlfriend is how old, and what does she do?
She's 31, and she works at a warehouse.
What's her first name, or what do you call her?
Jennifer.
Okay, now tell me the problem. Just don't say we. Just talk about Jennifer, okay, so I can keep up with you. Okay.
Jennifer is... We're together like a month, and now she says yesterday. She needs like a break to get her head straight.
Okay. Now, what were you saying about the alcoholics and all that? Is she one? Is that what you were saying?
She is one, yeah, and she's realizing she needs to get help again. She's already done it before.
Okay. Are you one too? Are you an alcoholic too?
Not at all, no.
Okay. All right. All right, darling. Well, it's okay with me if you are. I mean,
no, for real, I'm not. I don't do anything.
Okay. Well, darn. Okay, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. All right. All right, Lisa. Let me go into your head. Okay, there's Lisa, and you're in Rockford, Illinois. And then I'm going to. Okay, gotcha. And then I'm going to find Jennifer. Right, Jennifer.
Yeah.
She works in a warehouse. And how old did you say she was?
31.
Okay, there's another 31. That fellow was just 31. Remember the one with the almost mustache?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
It's a strange day today. All right, so 3 people in a row who had people dump them. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see what Jennifer's up to. Okay, Jennifer, I'm a friend of Lisa's, and I'm just here to help you both. May I talk to you, please? I'm perfectly safe to talk to. Do you mind if I do? Is that all right with you, Jennifer? Sometimes, is she kind of a combative personality?
Yes.
Yes. She started kind of yelling at me right away. And then I heard somebody say she's combative. I have people that talk to me. I hear voices.
Right, yes.
I only tell you, my radio listeners. I don't tell just anybody I hear voices. Okay, so, Jennifer, what we want to know is, you told Lisa that you need time to get straight and you want to cool things off for a while. Can you tell me more about this? Do you really mean this? What's happening? She says, I'm afraid of making more mistakes. She says, I've made a lot of mistakes and I keep making them over and over. And I don't know if she's ever admitted that to herself or anybody else before, but that's what I hear her saying. And she said, I don't know if I'm making a mistake with Lisa too because I don't trust myself. And she tells me she's had a hard life, a hard background, that she was brought up in such a way, she's telling me, but also other people are telling me that are talking to me, that she was brought up in such a way that she learned to be very tough. Or at least that's how she feels about herself and how she has to deal with life. Be very tough and protect herself and hit out before somebody hits her. Does this sound like her?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And so, but it hasn't made her happy because really inside she's very sensitive, like a beautiful little flower.
Right.
And so the way she's dealt with it is by being combative, get them before they get her. So that's something that she's done with you. Get you before you get her, dump you before you dump her. This is just the way she thinks. Doesn't mean you would do that, but this is part of her thinking process. And she's also, she's afraid. She's really afraid. She's afraid that you'll hurt her, that she'll be hurt again. She's afraid of many things, and she's thinking she's got to do something, but she doesn't really know what to do. She's thinking of getting dried out, but she's afraid. I keep hearing this over and over. Whatever she thinks to do, she gets afraid. But she's so confused that she doesn't know which way to turn, to stay with you, to leave you, to just help herself, to go on without. Everything's going round and round. Do you know this about her?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So it's not really you. She really likes you. She's been comfortable with you, but the more she feels for you, the more she cares about you, the more frightened she gets, and the more you might hurt her. The more you might dump her, or the more you might do something that would hurt her, or the more you might manipulate her, the more you might do things to her that other people have done in her past, in her childhood, all the way up.
That's weird she thinks that, because I wouldn't even do those things to her.
But it doesn't have anything to do with you and what you really are. It's just how she thinks. And when we're brought up certain ways and we have these experiences, that's how we see the world. And that's how we believe people will treat us. That's how we see it. And so we can't hear what's really true and we can't see it. Excuse me. So she is one messed up person.
Right.
And she really does need counseling. She needs help. She needs to go someplace and have people really help her. And she needs to listen. She's a person who really needs love, desperately wants love, but she's terrified and afraid. So what I would do if I were you is just tell her, honey, I understand. I really love you. I care about you. You're the dearest, sweetest thing. I know how sensitive and sweet you are inside, and I know you need to do whatever you need to do. You do whatever you need to do. If I can help you, back you in any way, help you with anything, talk to you, I'll be glad to do that. Try and take your heart out of it for now, Lisa.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's unwell, mentally, emotionally unwell. And when somebody who's mentally or emotionally unwell, you got to just try and take yourself out of it and your feelings and just help them. Just like somebody who's mentally ill, you would try and help them. But if they treated you badly or said awful things, you wouldn't take it personally because you knew they were mentally ill. It's like she's almost mentally ill, but it's more emotionally because of what's happened to her, and she just needs to get straightened out. And right now I'm holding my head on both sides and rubbing my temples and my cheeks. It's like, I think she's doing this, or this is how she feels, because it's not me. So that's what's happening here.
Yeah, it's like so weird because she said she needed space, and I go, well, how long? And she goes to me, she says, a month. And I'm like, a month? Wow.
Listen, don't hold her to a month or 2 weeks or 2 years. Don't hold her to anything. Just tell her, no matter what you want, I'm here for you. Contact me if you want to. I totally get it. You need to do whatever you need to do. And, you'll just have to see what happens. And, after a month, you need to decide if maybe you can or can't have a relationship with this lady. Maybe she's just not able to yet. Maybe she'll never be able to. It's up to what choices she makes, Lisa, but I don't want to see you suffer over something that's not your fault. Your only fault here is that you got yourself involved with somebody who's all screwed up. And don't we all do that?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But don't blame yourself and stop suffering. And I just heard the word that I've got to get off the air because the show's over. But I'll be thinking good thoughts for you. Okay, darling?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your call. All right, everybody. This has been a lovely time. I've had a lovely day with you once again. Please come back. Go to my website, GodIsAlwaysHappy.com. Sign up for Juicy News, for my blog. Stay in touch. Give me a call. Have a session with me, etc., etc. Venus Andrecht for the Dear Venus Show.